All right.
Are you gonna hit the fireworks too?
So, fuck, I wish I could do the fireworks again. I'm not using the iPad. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And it's like one of those things, too, where, like if you give a thumbs up on FaceTime, it gives a little thumbs up emoji next to it. I don't know how I did it with the fireworks, but I know that's what happened.
I've never seen any of that stuff.
Do you even use FaceTime for things? Do you talk to your mom on it?
My parents have like Samsungs from 11 years ago. What are you talking about?
Same with my mom.
Like my parents haven't changed their phone number in 28 years. Like when their original cell phone numbers are still their cell phone numbers. Nothing has changed.
That's kind of awesome.
I still remember them, which is cool. Like if I had to dial their number without it being programmed in, I could still do that.
Makes it easy.
Anyway,
definitely does.
Whiskey cheesecake.
Yes, whiskey cheesecake.
Whiskey cheesecake. So you start with, regular graham cracker crust, and then it's like the normal cheesecake filling. So cream cheese, egg, sugar, and then this is where it gets special. You don't use vanilla. You don't want none of that. You put in a couple shots of whiskey. Or if you're a little bit friskier, you like a little more daring adventures, Captain Morgan Reserve Select, the one that comes in like a bag that looks like a Crown Royal bag. But anyways, it's got awesome. It's got like like vanilla and a couple other flavorings in it already naturally. Goes great in a cheesecake. But whiskey in the cheesecake is fucking amazing too.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever tried that.
No.
Well, if you ever get the hair up your ass of like, hey, tonight I'm going to make a cheesecake, just, maybe you've had like 5 or 6 beers and you're like, I'm going to make that fucking cheesecake. You got some whiskey lying around, got some eggs, some cream cheese and sugar, and you're like, I'm going to do it. Make a cheesecake because I got the drunk munchies. In an hour, they'll be even worse once the 7th beer goes in.
No, I'm going to give you a 100% guarantee that I'm not going to attempt to make a cheesecake. I've never done it before, and I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it under any type of influence like that. I can guarantee you that. That and like,
what if you have like some caramel laying around? You want to just drizzle it on something?
I'd rather make nachos of some type. Also, I don't ever have just random caramel.
Yeah, things are
don't ever have
here.
I mean, do you have like a secret caramel stash, Steve? Is that what you're sitting on over there?
I mean, you got to have caramel lying around if you're just going to have ice cream lying around. You're also going to need some sprinkles, some peanuts, and some chocolate. Maybe some peanut butter, too.
Every day is Sunday for Steve.
Fuck yeah, man. How do you guys have kids without, like, ice cream supplies just at the ready? You probably don't even have whole wheat and lettuce for ice cream sandwiches.
Whole wheat and lettuce. Really? There really is something wrong with you.
Okay, that's from Grandma's Boy.
Yeah,
never seen that movie.
Such a good movie. It is so underrated. Like that movie is top notch. Like that was one of the one movies that they showed on deployment, like for the morale movie of the week. Like they'd put it at the base theater or whatever where all the briefings were, and they would play that. And Grandma's Boy was on such heavy rotation. I must have seen it like 17 times when we were over there. It just like, it's Morale movie day. Let's go watch Grandma's Boy again. Like, no one cared. No one cared because it was so good. It was so funny.
It is so good.
I was just watching that the other day, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I put the TV on or up on the wall there in the background. Some, this is a home office type setup. But she wanted a new TV, so put one on the wall, and it's a Roku TV. So I was like, all right, well, what can I watch for free on this thing? And as soon as I hit the free shit, Grandma's Boy popped up. I was like,
No way.
oh yeah, it was right there. I
That's
was like,
awesome.
This is perfect.
That's money.
That's awesome. Quality find.
Fuck yeah.
What was that, 2006 or 2005?
Something like
Had to
that.
be. Had to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, because that's when we were on rotation, was 2006, so it must have been.
Something like that.
Awesome.
I don't know. All I know is that was a fucking sweet car bed.
Outstanding. Oh, my
So many
roommates.
great one-liners.
My roommates wanted to tie me up. Like, mm-hmm.
There's that one old
And
dirty broad. I once had sex with Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
That was one of the best parts of the movie.
What's the kid's name that plays the is Nick something, and he rolls over
Nick
and goes,
Swartzen.
Nick, yes, he rolls over.
Work on him.
Awesome. Awesome. So many one-liners.
Grandma smoked or drank the weed tea.
Yes.
That was great.
Special tea.
I need to trim my antlers.
Oh my God, I forgot that line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to revisit this now. I'm gonna have to find, hopefully, one of the subscriptions that I have has that movie. Such a good movie.
Yep.
That's where ice cream sandwiches, whole wheat with lettuce came from.
Yep,
You pulled that one out of somewhere. Proud of you for that one. That's a good pull.
Solid reference.
That was one where, like, as soon as it was said, I'm like, this is locked in core memory. It's never fucking leaving. Like, it was
That's
during
one of those that
after the fucking I found your tea moments, and like they have the house party. She's like, I made ice cream sandwiches, whole wheat with lettuce. I'm like, oh fuck. And Kyle, you met your mom. That's something that she would do.
That is a Mary line. Yep. And that 100%. I could see it. No, that's one of those movies that I would have to rewatch, and it would completely bring me back. And I would 100%, as soon as I got in the groove of it. That's like one of those songs that you haven't heard in 15, 20 years. But as soon as you hear that first bit or that first line, you're like, I remember every word to this song. That'd be like that movie. It would all just come flooding right back. That's a quality reference.
So what is that album for each of you for that time period?
For that time period.
Late teens, early 20s, military service. I got mine.
I got two right off the top of mine. Yep, I got mine too.
Shinedown.
All right, Donnie, fire away.
Shinedown. I forget the album's name, but whatever had 45 on it.
Sound of Madness.
Yes. That was a great freaking album.
I'm not certain that I ever had
one,
that album.
So.
All right, so yeah, 2000.
I'm gonna go with The Deadeye by The Haunted.
Okay.
Can't say I ever heard it.
You've probably heard it
the
because I
record.
didn't stop fucking listening. Yeah, that's the one for me.
2003.
Or no, wait, I take it fucking back. One that I listened to way more than that. Ashes of the Wake, Lamb of God.
Nice.
That one's
That's
still
gonna
on
go with
rotation.
final answer. It's still on rotation, but it still takes me back. You put on Now You've Got Something to Die For, and oh, I'm right back there in the bricks, and I'm screaming along to every word.
That tracks. Yeah, for me, there's two in that time frame. Impossibility of Reason by Kimura, and that comes on every once in a while down here in the weight room. And then one that's off the beaten path. The band is called Bleed the Sky, and the album is Paradigm and Entropy. The drummer from Bleed the Sky ended up playing in Kimura and also Devil Driver.
Huh.
Ooh.
So that album was on heavy rotation. That was a weight room classic for sure. Saw those guys live in Fayetteville at Jester's Pub, and dude, what a show! It was so many good bands came through there. We saw God Forbid, Napalm Death, Black Dahlia Murder, Exodus, American Head Charge. Like, we saw so many good bands up in Vietnam. So many good bands, but Bleed the Sky was one of those, like, small show, the small crowd. Might have been, I don't know, 150 people there, but they were so good. They were so tight. That was a lot of fun. We hung out with them before and after the show. Like, they were super cool. California boys, like, they I don't know, they were just so down to earth. Like, oh yeah, just come hang out. Like, come have a beer. Like, say less, man. Like, we'll come have a beer with you guys. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, like front row, front and center, screaming along to the songs. Like, awesome show. Great memory.
What's that place in Jacksonville that had all the bands come in?
Hooligans.
There's another one too.
No, it was down by Walmart, and then it moved. It was Planet Rock, and that was down by Walmart, and then that shut down, and the owners of that opened up Hooligans in that strip mall down by Swanix. And Planet Rock is where Lacuna Coil came to, so that's where I saw them.
Yes.
And then at Hooligans, I saw Napalm Death, Guar. There was one more that I saw, and then Arch Enemy came. I couldn't go because I was working that night, and they canceled for the reason that I'll always hate Angela Gossow for. She didn't fucking come out because people were smoking in the bar.
Stop it.
That's her reason for not playing the show that people paid money for.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's shitty.
We were in Utah. I think it must have been post-deployment. And we went to kind of a similar venue. It was in this strip mall. And we were in Ogden. I think we were in Ogden, Utah. And it was an all-ages show. It was Bury Your Dead was the headliner. And Walls of Jericho was the supporting act. Dude.
Stop it, I'm getting wood.
So there are these two openers, and like, they were pretty good. Walls of Jericho gets on, and like, so imagine this store, because it was legit an old store. They built the stage, it might have been 2 feet tall, maybe, and all the rest of it was just linoleum floor. So they're doing a hardcore show on checkered linoleum floor with a 2-foot stage. And dude, it was awesome. So, yes. we go up for Walls of Jericho, and we're standing like, we are this close, and same kind of atmosphere with Bleed the Sky. Like, they were so cool. They hung out with us afterwards, and like, we talked to them probably for no joke, like 45 minutes. They were awesome. So they go on stage, they're blasting this set, and me and my best friend Jeff and my other best friend John, my other best friend Nathan. Like we're all standing there, like we're in the pit. No one else would get in the pit. Like they're all standing there and they're going like this and like get in the pit. Like this band was ripping it, just going hard. No one would get in the pit. So okay. So Walls Jericho gets done, the lights come on, and Bury Your Dead is supposed to get on stage, and the venue manager shut down the show because it was 10 o'clock and all the kids under 16 had a curfew. So they shut down the entire show, and Bury Your Dead was about to get on, and they said, "Nope, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?" And we're like, "Dude, we are 21 years old. We are fresh off rotation. We just got back in June. It was August, and like we wanted to see Bury Your Dead, and they wouldn't let them play. Absurd. We saw some, dude. I'll tell you what though, low key, some of the clubs in Utah, we saw some crazy good bands. We saw Exodus out there too. Bros, there might have been 36 people there total. So we're standing, no one came. So like we're standing right there, and like they still got on and they put on a hell of a show. Like we saw OTEP, we saw this old school punk band called Millencolin. That place was rocking. Dude, Millencolin put on an amazing show. Actually, New York band Roses Are Red opened for them. Awesome show. Dude, Millencolin rocked. They were so good. But we saw some crazy good shows out in Utah. Of all places, like these tiny little hole in the wall places in Utah. So much fun.
Man. Utah kids love them some punk.
Yeah, because they can't do anything else. I mean, the lights get turned on at 10 o'clock and they get sent home. Did you hear that?
They do the same thing at Darien Lake.
Wild. At Darien Lake?
Darien Lake, all shows end at 10 because of their noise ordinance.
Really? That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that would suck.
That's why all shows there suck.
I've only seen a couple there.
It was, what was that, like Ozfest or Warped Tour?
I think they both came through at one point. I think the first show I ever saw there was Green Day and Blink-182.
That'd be a good show.
Steve, I think we were juniors in high school. That was forever ago.
It was forever ago. My first show there was Poison, Skid Row, and Motley Crue's Vince Neil. There's a distinction between Motley Crue and Motley Crue's Vince Neil. I just want to point that out.
Could he actually sing at that point?
This was 2003. This was my high school graduation present from my sister. So, yes, he could still sing, but he was singing the songs, but like the backing tracks behind it didn't sound right because they weren't Motley Crue songs. It was just like generic music sung to the fucking. So he's like singing Kickstart My Heart, and I'm like, this is not the music to kickstart my heart. What is going on here?
Because he couldn't get copyright infringement.
Yeah, pretty much. He had rights to the lyrics, but not the music. So it's like, okay. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But Skid Row and Poison kicked ass.
Nickelback puts on a hell of a show. I hate to even say that I went to one of their concerts, but it was a pretty good fucking show.
Did you throw your panties up on the stage, Donnie?
Nah, I was trying to smash some first largest daughter I met, but didn't happen.
Did you throw?
Say what you know about Nickelback, but their first album is one of Roadrunner Records' greatest hits.
That's right. They were signed to Roadrunner. They were signed to Roadrunner at the same time that Slipknot was.
Yep.
That's crazy to think about. Huh?
Fucking Slipknot.
Roadrunner had fucking talent for just going, you guys got it. We'll sign you.
And they made a ton of money off of those album
Oh
sales.
my god, yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna pretend that Nickelback wasn't on the rotation, like especially in college playing hockey. Was playing college hockey with a bunch of dudes from Canada. Like, you think Nickelback wasn't in the mix? Like, of course it was. Of course it was. Like, Burn It Down. Like, that song came on right before warm-ups every single time. And then it came back on during warm-ups every single time.
Understandable.
That and Sandstorm. Like, so we're going from burning it down to just
Darude?
having a rave on ice. Like,
The Patriots freaking music.
Oh my god, that would be fucking. I actually would want to sit through a mix like that, where it's like, burn it down by Nickelback, Darude, Sandstorm. I got to make a mix like this. I just got to make the craziest fucking thing.
So where do you squeeze Celine
got the
Dion
boys.
in?
We didn't have any French Canadians, so that didn't come on. Well, most of the boys were from Southern Ontario.
You don't have any Berta boys?
We had a bunch of Berta boys. And they were beauties. Every single one of them. Just grinders, and like they loved it.
I remember there was one guy you brought to as a fill-in for one of our games for Bar League, and he was just ripping slappers, and I'm just staring at it, just like, holy fuck! And he's just like nailing all of them in the net, and I'm just like, so this is what they talk about by get in front of it and knock it in, and I'm just like,
I'm trying to think of who that was. More than likely, that was Hesser, massive human being, 6'6", 240.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, he had a couple of professional
the size of my legs. Yeah, yep. He was like, massive, I just remember. Massive. I'm just like,
so he was a right winger coming into college, and they converted him to a two-way shutdown defenseman, and he was bringing it as a freshman, 92, 93. So senior year, check that, his junior year, he was hitting like 94. He, I think, broke 3 panes of glass at the rink just because like it would miss the top of the crossbar and it would hit that soft spot of the glass, like between the stanchion and the top of the boards, and the glass would just it couldn't take it. The dude. So like, those were my last years being a goaltender, and like these guys would step across the blue line and like they could bring it, high 80s, low 90s. The crazy difference, like, and I tell this story to a lot of people. Like, I tell this to a lot of people who are, have aspirations of being a Division 3 athlete, a scholarship athlete, whether it's Division 2 or 1. The difference between guys who make it to the next level, whether it's JUCO, Division 3, 2, or 1 in the college level, versus the professionals. So there was one time we were on the road, and did I tell you guys this story of skating with the guys? All right, so we were playing against a team down in PA, and their home rink was under renovation, so we played at the Hershey Bears Arena. And the Hershey Bears were the Washington Capitals, or are the Washington Capitals farm team. So like this was 2000, must have been 2008 or 9. So we're getting done with the game day skate, the morning skate, and we were on the ice maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. So ice didn't get super banged up. Well, the Hershey Bears were getting on, and these guys step onto the ice, and the minute that they touch the puck, it's gone. And the difference between a Division 3 athlete versus someone who's in the feeding system for, a professional team, if you put them side by side, the physical differences are not that much. Like, we had guys who could squat 500 pounds. We had guys, who were like Hasser, 6'6", 240, just giant human beings. So physically, you can't really tell that much of a difference. But on the ice, they are one full step faster. The puck disappears off of their stick, and they see the play unfolding before it even happens. And the difference is how dialed in they are when they are 10, 11, 12, like how much extra work they're putting in and how much extra jump they have from the time that they are in like middle school to the time that they are, in their late teens, early 20s. It's crazy how much development gets done in that amount of time and what the small differences are. But it comes down to work ethic, and it comes down to like how much grind you're actually going to put in. Like I was a decent athlete, but the difference between me and my size, at 6'1", 195 versus a guy who made it in the NHL, 6'1", 195, like it's that much extra ice time. It's that much extra dry land. Like it takes so much, and it takes just that natural ability on top of work ethic and grind to get to that next level. Like, so I tell that to everyone that I've ever coached. You have no idea how much it actually takes to get to that next level. You have to work so freaking hard, and the difference, it pays dividends in the long run. It's so fun to watch.
I can imagine.
I mean, these guys they're that good. My buddy sent, Donnie, do you golf at all?
I've tried. It's more of a game of whack fuck, but
yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah.
We're mini golfers.
Okay. So this actually,
we're mini golfers.
So this plays right in. Okay. So one of my favorite times of the year is early spring and getting back on the golf course. I'm by no means a good golfer, but I love being outside. I love swinging a club as hard as I possibly can and hoping that I actually hit it straight. So my buddy sent me this thing from Twitter or X or whatever you call it anymore. And this kid was asking, do you think you could win the Masters if you started on the green at the furthest distance away from the pin and all you had to do was putt? Do you think you could win the Masters just starting on the green? And my honest response is nope. Nope, I couldn't. Because even on the crappy freaking local golf courses, I still end up 3-putting, sometimes 4-putting, because I'm just not that good at it. So you're going to put me on one of the best golf courses in the world, and I still have to shoot less than 4 or 5 because some of these guys are dropping it from the tee box within 5 or 6 feet, and they're just automatic from there. So even if I'm on the green, I still don't think that I'm beating these guys because they're that good. They're just that good. So maybe you guys with your putt skills, maybe you guys got this. Maybe you're the ones.
Nah,
if they put a spinning seal or a windmill on a course, I got a chance. If it's just, whatever, rolling greens, weird stuff, sand trap next to it, I'm fucked.
You need the clown from Happy Gilmore. That's what
I was just going to say that. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Donnie. Attaboy.
Now we're
You're going to die, clown.
What a fucking good movie.
Put the Bruins jersey on and bring your hockey stick. Let's go.
We're at 2 Adam Sandler movie references currently.
We are at 2.
That is a Happy Madison movie there, Grandma's Boy.
Sure is.
Yes, it was.
Such a quality movie. I can't believe you pulled that one out today.
That's what I do. I pull shit out.
This is very true.
It's my
you
talent.
can stay in Sophie's room. She's not with us anymore. Oh, why'd she leave? She didn't. She died. And then she takes him to the room. She's like, that's where Sophie died, right there. Like, that's not fucking creepy at all. I gotta sleep in this room.
Oh.
So many references in that movie. I have to rewatch this now. I absolutely have to rewatch it. Well, thank you, Steve.
At some point this week.
Yep.
This
Well
is all
done.
because you were making fun of my ice cream eating habits.
It started out because you just have random caramel sitting around.
That's exactly how it
It's not
started.
sitting around. It's in a
exactly
cupboard.
how
I
it
know
started.
exactly where it is.
It's in his red room.
It's in the mini room. You guys don't have
I
an
didn't
emergency caramel stash? You're living life wrong.
No, I do have Pop-Tarts, though.
Same concept.
Solid odds.
I do have Pop-Tarts. S'mores
You bring the
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, I'll bring the caramel dip.
Oh.
Dude, how good are s'mores Pop-Tarts? I love them. I love them.
I've always been a fan of the frosted cherry, though.
Frosted cherry. Okay. That
S'mores
came up tonight at
great.
S'mores are great. It came, that randomly came up at the gym tonight too. That's two Pop-Tarts references within the last 5 hours. Somebody randomly brought up Pop-Tarts, and I'm like, what kind? And they said frosted strawberry. You said frosted cherry. I'm 2 for 2 on the s'mores.
Yeah,
s'mores all the way.
You can tell a lot about a person by the Pop-Tarts they eat. Like, if somebody's crushing on the maple brown sugar, I automatically think you're a dick.
just straight out of the gate, like you.
This guy's a fucking asshole.
I'm done with you. Get out.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the guy comes to the bar. He's like, "Can I get a Genesee?" Like, who the fuck invited you?
Oh, whoa, stop it!
Hey,
oh, stop
how dare you?
You retract those words. I will drink a Yingling when it is available. However, I love Busch lattes and I love Jenny Lights. Oh, those are fighting words, Donnie. You take that.
Those Jenny
back.
fruit Kolsch's, though. The summer Kolsch's. Johnny, I got to bring you some of these.
You have to try it in good faith. They are so good.
What was last year's? Was what, grapefruit?
Yeah, ruby red.
Yeah, ruby red grapefruit Kolsch. Like,
unreal.
It was fucking phenomenal. It's refreshing. It's crisp. It's not overly fruity, and it's not overly hoppy. It's just, it rides that fucking line, and you're just like, oh my God. I could do anything with this. I could mow the lawn. I could eat a steak. You fucking name it. I could
Golf
sit on the
and
porch.
Be very good. Putt. I
can garden for hours.
Yeah, that's a top 5 summer for sure.
I don't drink anymore. I'd be willing to check them out.
I mean, I drink. My running joke is I have one per fiscal quarter. So, like, the summer, that's what I have is like a 6-pack of whatever the Jenny Kolsch is. And like, I drink that 6-pack throughout the summer.
Well, maybe I'll try the Jenny Kolsch.
It's worth it.
I'll bring you one if they don't have it by you, because we should plan that range day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crash Fredonia.
I think we should go to PA.
This itch. Yeah, okay. It's going to be way better by you because of
the
laws up here have AIDS.
What's that?
But I have this itch right here on this finger.
Yeah, we can cure
that. The laws in New York State have AIDS. You don't want to come here, Donnie.
No, we'll come to you.
I mean, the one time I did go up there was pretty cool. There's a lot of vineyards.
I mean, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But
one time a year.
It's not friendly to our type of people.
No, I understand. We still got to get down to Ridgeway. Well, it'd be down for you guys. It's up for me. See who can hit the
But
big steel buffalo first. I think it's out at 975.
Well, we have a
since
couple very capable platforms to reach out and touch it.
Nah. Now we're gonna do this with my trapdoor.
go on.
Really?
Hold on.
And he disappears.
Yes, I did.
Oh boy. Farva, I thought I explained it to Kyle before. Apparently I didn't, so I explained it to him this weekend. He didn't know that you're a legitimate gunsmith.
I wouldn't claim that I'm a gunsmith by any means, but I
You
did get
went
a
through all the schooling, you
college
can do the
education
fucking
for it.
work.
I can do a good bit of work. I just don't have any machining experience or anything like that. Well,
They
I'd
can
love
all
to
be
get it.
learned.
Absolutely.
You can
Like this thing
autistically
here.
fix a muzzle loader.
Well, I can do some cool shit. This thing here was actually built in 1888.
No kidding.
Oh yeah.
Nobody from my entire dad's side of the family was on this continent in that year.
Christ. Yeah, it's like
Same here.
5.5 foot long.
That's awesome.
But it's got this freaking leaf sight here. And all the research I've done on these, they're very capable to go out to 1,000 meters, but you're gonna be shooting like a fucking rainbow with the 45-70 round.
I was just gonna ask what holdover would be.
31 foot.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it basically turns into a mortar.
Pretty much.
Oh fuck,
Yeah.
this is gonna be great.
I'm down to try it, 100%.
I've been
Oh
wanting to
yeah,
try
that's gonna
for a
make my
while.
day. You'll have
I mean,
to
it
wipe the
shoots
smile off my
fantastic.
face with a belt sander.
What the?
Just because it's so much fun. All right, so we got to go to Shooter's Warehouse and get some ammunition for that thing and have
Oh,
some
I got it.
fun.
I actually, I ordered. It's 45-70, of course. I mean, you can get that anywhere, but I actually
Yep.
ordered. It's lower pressure ammunition, so I don't blow the thing apart because
Okay.
kind of play it
Smart.
safe. I mean, it's built pretty robust in the freaking breech and chamber area, but why test it? Just
No, like because again, you're talking about ammunition that's 150 years advanced from when the actual platform was
yep,
built. Like tolerances and powders and synthetics and all of that has changed. All of that has changed.
greatly. So
Yeah,
Did they even have
interesting.
cordite back then, or was it straight black powder?
I think it was probably straight black powder, just brass cased.
Yeah,
Super
that would make
corrosive.
sense. And that was your grandfather's?
No, I actually bought this off a guy.
No kidding.
About I think 2.5 years ago, right when I started doing the gunsmith course, because they have Penswoods. I don't know if you guys ever seen it.
Mm-mm.
It's online classifieds, and the gun section is where it's at. Like you can find almost anything on there. They even have a class 3 section.
Wow.
But this guy advertised having a Springfield trapdoor rifle. I was like, sweet, I've heard
Huh.
of those. I'll go check it out. And I think I paid $700 for it.
Wow.
Yeah, well worth
Damn.
it.
How much work did it need?
Doesn't need. I mean, I cleaned it.
That's
It's
it? That's all it needed?
100% functional. Yeah, I just cleaned it. Actually, I don't know if you can see it or not, but hey, Ken, it's still got
Yeah.
the fucking painted rack number on it.
No kidding.
Let's say 88.
Uh, it looks like a 38.
38.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's your special one.
Yeah, I guess.
38 special, baby.
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
I think I'm going to take that
Next
out for deer
question.
season next year.
Really?
Why not?
What's the grain? What's the weight on the projectile itself?
I want to say it's 230. Let me look.
Okay.
'Cause now I
Yeah, I
got to
mean
find out.
that would more than do the job.
Oh my god, dude, it'll flatten a deer.
I mean, you're gonna put a hole in half of it.
Hell
Yeah, but it's not going to ruin. Like if you put it in the boiler room, it's just going to do the job. It's not
Kick the
going to
lungs
spoil
out.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's
one
no
thing
good.
the one thing it might splatter though is the heart, and that's unfortunate because that's such good eating.
Yeah, that's literally the best part aside from backstraps.
Inside tenders and heart for me.
Okay, I was way off. It's 350 grains. And it's rated at
Holy shit.
yeah, it's rated at 1350 per second.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a pretty slow moving projectile.
Yeah.
It's a heavy boy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean once it gets going, it's going to
Which
take a lot,
explains
obviously.
why he was saying you
Mortar
have to arc it to fucking 1,000.
31 feet.
31 foot holdover.
I'm just gonna,
really specific
prop it up
number.
this way. I mean, listen, if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes.
Just fully extend one of those what they call those trigger sticks and then sit down on like a
Yeah,
5-gallon bucket and
that's wild. Yeah, man, that'd be amazing to shoot. That'd be so cool.
oh yeah, I'm definitely bringing it when you guys come down.
All
It's
right. So you bring
amazingly
that.
consistent.
I'll bring the 300 Win Mag.
All right.
I'll bring the
Just because.
308. Yep.
Just bring
So
both
I
tailed
think this is
hollow
going to be
points.
a good evaluation for that caliber range of things. Because 308 and 300 Win Mag, okay, those are pretty standard. We know we can do with those. 300 Win Mag's going to have a flatter trajectory. 308 is probably going to have a slightly elevated one out to
Yeah,
1,000.
big holdover.
But then this thing, we're gonna need a protractor. Who knows a mathematician?
Yeah. No habla the mathematics.
No habla math. I like
Yeah, it's a foreign language, dude. Like,
it
and
is.
at
I
that,
know.
at that type of distance, like you're starting to talk like what trigonometry at that point, like
Yeah.
because I mean the holdover,
There's so
Steve, for
many
yours,
variables.
yeah, like the holdover for yours, I think the drop off is something like what 6 feet over 1,000, something like that. Because the 308 is like 13 feet
Yeah.
if
It's like
memory
11 or
serves.
13.
Yeah. So like we're gonna have to be well situated above the targets and like dial the dope on the glass in to compensate for like there's so many different variables, and I am by no means a long range shooter at all. So that would be a very good test of whether or not we could adapt to that. That'd be so cool. Can't wait to do it.
It's pretty awesome. They got everything from the first sets of targets are 2, 3, I think 380, and then 5. And then there's like a freaking huge ravine. And then it goes 850, 950, 1,000.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
God, that's
And then
beautiful.
just this massive white buffalo off in the left hand corner of the range, way out the back.
Just begging to get hit.
I've tried to hit it with a 308, and I've gotten to where I can see the trees kind of part from where the bullet went over the back of it.
Okay.
Haven't been able to ding her down yet.
What kind of optic are you using?
It's a Vortex HST Viper, I think.
Okay.
It's a solid optic.
I think that's
8x24.
if I have that.
I want to say it's 5 to 25. I don't know. It's
Okay, because it's time for me to get some new glass for my 308, and I'm looking at that right around that same, either 6x24 or something along those lines. And I do like the Vortex lines, and I'm not trying to spend like Night Force money. Yeah, I'm just not.
yeah. Night Forces are amazing optics, but you kind of got to take out a small loan to get one.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that.
No. So yeah, the one I got. It's I think it's 5 to 25 by 50. I got it in first focal plane.
Hmm. Okay,
Maybe it's 6.5 to 20. I can't remember.
it's right up there.
Okay, yeah, it's a
Yeah, Steve, you're
Viper PST Gen 2.
very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that myself. Steve, you put a nice piece of glass in your 300.
Yeah, it's a Vortex. I don't remember if it's a Viper or Diamondback. I still got the box. I got mine on sale, last year's model from Euro Optic.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
So
You're,
it was $459. I think I paid.
it's a
it's
great
not a bad
price.
It was like
price.
$300 off. I'm like, oh fuck, there I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the 6 to 24 range, and I want to say it's 55 millimeter at the end.
Should be
That
It's a
good.
sounds
big
right.
boy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, so is the 300. Like that, you have, if memory serves, you have a bull barrel or a heavy barrel on that
Yeah, it's
as
got the
well.
varmint barrel on it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Savage 110
Uh,
with a varmint barrel.
okay.
Man, I love my Savages.
So many
It's
people
fucking
hate on
tack
them
driver.
They do. They do, but
Why?
I don't
because
know.
it's especially in the precision. And again, like I am by no means a precision rifle shooter at all, but I read
Uh,
a lot. I read a lot of articles. You know, I haven't put so many of these things into practice, and like I want to, and I will at some point. But because it's not an AI, like because it doesn't come from Great Britain and it didn't cost $7,000. Like Tika makes a pretty good rifle as well, and like there are a lot of really nice Tikas out there, and they don't get the same kind of hate that a well tricked out Savage. Like for some reason, people hate the brand. But if you put it in the hands of most American shooters, like so many people I know say the same exact thing that you guys did. Like it's reliable, it shoots great. They're tack drivers.
Yep.
Here's the way I look at it. For the amount of time that I get to use it, and the amount of money that I'm going to fucking pay for it, and what I'm capable of doing with it, let's put this in sports equipment terms because we're looking at it's like sports equipment now. Do I need a wooden hockey stick that costs $50? I don't know what they cost now. Back in the day, they were like 20. Or do I need that $300 composite model that has the same curve, the same lie, and the same amount of fucking bend? With what I'm going to be able to do with it, I'm going to buy that $20 stick. Fuck it, I'm buying two of them.
Yeah.
Right.
I've
For
heard some
running
really good
shoes.
things about Argon optics too.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, like,
technology's advanced in the optics world so far. Like back in the day, especially in the red dots, like everything either had to be EOTech or Aimpoint. But
Yep.
brands like Vortex come in, brands like Sig come in, and they see the good things that Aimpoint and EOTech are doing, and they probably clone in some capacity, and they make really good, affordable, durable optics. And exactly to Steve's point, like for what I'm going to do with it, for how often I use it and what I'm capable of with it, like I'm going to spend 150 rather than 450. That just makes sense.
It does. Yeah, the only
No,
reason I
very valid.
actually got that Vortex scope on there is when I did do the SDI school, I had a 50% discount on everything from Vortex.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely took advantage of that. Like my GI Bill money got me one hell of a scope.
Awesome. How was that course? Like how interactive and like how in depth did that go?
I mean, it went pretty in depth. I mean, it's all online correspondence, so
Okay.
there's a lot of writing involved. Uh, if there's one complaint I had, it would be the amount of writing you had to do.
Okay.
But I mean, to really gauge your understanding of the material that's been presented, like that's the best way to go about it. The hands-on stuff, the labs, like the muzzleloader lab, that was fantastic.
Cool.
They, but you kind of you follow it step by step, and the muzzleloader was an 8-week course, and you just kind of document your progress with like you put your name, your class, number, and the date on a piece of paper. Take your pictures, record your video, whatever. Document it that way. Uh, the writing sucked, but necessary evil. And then
Sure.
I guess the one class that I kind of struggled a little bit at first was the machining class because I need to put my hands on it and really
Yes.
be able to like manipulate stuff to fully understand. I was having a hell of a time initially, and then I talked to my fiance's son. He's a machinist. He kind of, he brought up pictures and showed me everything that I wasn't interpreting. Helped out a hell of a lot. So the lack of hands-on with the machining part, and then
Yeah. Well, because like that was going to be my question of, especially when you're doing like distance learning, how do you actually have those lab components and how do you make them like realistic and what does that look like and mean? Because it's like working on an airframe. Like I learned the best by having either a journeyman or a craftsman working alongside me and showing like this is how you manipulate, like if we're removing a pump or if we're removing like a manifold or something like that, like they're going to show you the different tricks of how to leverage it out and how to actually remove it like efficiently and cleanly so that you can get that next part in. And like you can only read about it so much and you can only talk about it so much. Actually putting your hands on it and doing it, like that's where that real learning comes in.
yeah, some of the materials they sent were like videos, and then they had, of course, like the diagrams, like the interactive diagrams. You can see the same thing on YouTube where it just kind of cuts an AR in half and shows you the
Yeah.
whole cycle of operations. A lot of that stuff was involved. A lot of articles that were written, like guys wrote articles back in the 70s that we were using for reference.
Wow.
Because a lot of the techniques, like, yeah, a lot of the stuff's changed, but a lot of it's very much the same.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I loved it. Could I gotten more out of there's a school in Pittsburgh area. I forget the name of it, but they do a hell of a lot more. But
Okay.
for what SDI is, you're gonna get what you put into it, really. Like, you can
Okay.
blow it off and just half-ass it, but I put every ounce of effort I could into that, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
So what's the next step with that?
I had aspirations at one point of opening a store, like kind of sporting goods, doing a little bit of maintenance with it. Um, Life kind of took a left turn from there, and haven't gotten to that point yet. But it's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. Just working on some other shit right now.
Valid enough. I
Yeah.
mean, life always has those left turns, huh?
Oh yeah.
that's that's always the case. Steve, you had
Well,
a left turn today.
uh
Company got fucking bought out.
oh. That's right.
Gonna, gonna see how that. Well, I mean, it shouldn't be a major thing, but who fucking knows what next year is gonna look like? They're like, we're not gonna change anything. It's like,
Yeah.
Are ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, as long as you don't have to do another 11 months in Alaska.
if they're going to pay me a fuckload of money, maybe.
Maybe.
But also, we don't have anything on the books for Alaska at the moment, so that's nice. But the other thing is that I'm going from working for a small boutique environmental company to a large multinational corporation. So, I mean, there's going to be upsides and downsides to both of that. So with the small company, it's like, hey, I can, I know what to do in here. I know everyone. And so the way that they're telling us it's going to be, it's we're still this company. We're just a subsidiary of this company now. But if I really wanted to and I could find a job inside this larger company that just bought us, I'm sure I could, lap move over to there and just carry on my way. And I'm still part of that company because, I'd be getting paid by that payroll of that company under all their insurance already. So it's like I could get borrowed out, basically. I don't know why they would do that because all my institutional knowledge is in this boutique thing that they just bought. So they probably wouldn't want to do that with me and be like, hey, yeah, like our Buffalo or Pittsburgh office needs your strong back and weak mind to go do this dumb thing today. It's like, that's probably not going to happen. It's going to
Yeah.
be the
And that's the
continuation of
tough
what
part.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Well, you have a good mindset on it. I mean, you have a realistic outlook on it. So whatever comes of it, it comes of it.
That's right. Two-tiered plan. Get paid, get laid.
That's always your plan.
Man, train legs and spread legs. I mean, those are my two-tiered plans. So there's 4 tiers of planning that I have. One of the tiers is the same, so it's only 3 tiers of planning. So I got to find some other tiers of planning and make them rhyme.
Nah. Keep the tripod going. That's like the pinnacle of stability.
The tripod, he says. The
That's
tripod.
what we are. Look at this. We are the tripod.
The trifecta.
Stop it. The trifecta.
You think I planned this on accident to not be a tripod in case one of you guys has to bail out for any reason in life? Then I got another leg to fall on.
Bro, you did some haphazard planning, and I'll give you that. But you did not plan this on purpose.
I actually did.
Maybe.
We'll say it's a coincidental foresight,
right.
we'll call it.
A
Ask
coincidence.
my
I like
girlfriend. I
that.
actually planned this out.
Coincidental foresight.
No, I can
like,
see your logic in that.
I need 2 of the craziest autistic gun nuts who also like to work out that I can think of. Who are they? Donny and Kyle.
Hey.
I might have got nicked with autism. I'm not sure.
Nicked.
Honestly, I was just looking. I'm like, all right, cool people, good at talking, interesting, full of ideas, who can bring in other people into the podcast too, in case when we want to have guests. I want it to be on a regular basis with the power hour. And I'm like, all right,
Hour.
I want 2 really good friends of mine. Obviously, I want Kyle because I've known you for a long fucking time and I know you're cool and you know your shit. I'm like, Donnie is the only other obvious choice. I've tried to have him on twice. Both other times I've tried to have him on, something stupid fucking happened, either with the audio or the recording system or something fucking retarded. I'm like, God fucking damn it. I'm like, all right, shit's all nailed down. I know Donnie's in. I know Donnie's interesting. I know Donnie can talk and he doesn't sound like a complete idiot. He sounds like he's on my level. So I'm the baseline. We can only go up from there. We're perfect. Donnie and fucking Kyle.
Well selected. Yeah, well selected.
Yep. It's going to be a good thing.
Sure will.
It is. All of our interests are similar. I mean, we have natural human variation in what we enjoy. Like, I enjoy my stupid little niche of things. Kyle has his niche of things that he enjoys more. Donnie has his things. Like, but we can all come together and then we can break it down and speak into the same language.
Very
Which
analytical.
reminds me,
Yes.
I have a question for you, Kyle. I know how
Send
me
it.
and Donnie wound up on the Osprey. When you went into the Air Force, did you get to select the F-15 or did you get selected by needs of the Air Force? Like, how does that fucking work?
Yep. So originally, I was actually I was brought in to do, of all things, military intelligence, and I was in training in West Texas, and I hated it. I hated it. It was miserable. Like, we were stuck in a windowless building for 12 hours a day doing analytics on code, signals, like it. I hated it. So I failed a test because I didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And they brought me in and they sat me down with the instructors and they're like, "Hey, you're not really good at this." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm not. I'm not at all." Like, "Well, we're going to give you one more chance. And if you fail another test, you're gone." I'm like, "Okay, all right, duly noted." So I went on to the next segment of training because I ended up passing that exam. And the material was just so boring. Like, it was brutal. I'm like, this is going to be the next 5 years of my life, is like sitting in a skiff, staring at a computer screen in a bunker underneath like a missile base. Like, no, dude. So I put into cross train because I failed that segment, and they're like, you have to choose 3 different jobs that the needs of the Air Force are going to do. And I'm like, cool. I want to either be security forces, I want to be a crew chief, and I'm trying to think of the other thing that I put on there. I think I actually put I think I put firefighter because it was right at the same base that I was doing training at in West Texas. Like, Navy, Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, all training at the same center. Like, it was awesome. And the guys that were going through were like, "Yeah, man, it's super cool. Like, totally put in for it." So I did. First choice was security forces. Actually, I wanted to, because like that's our version of, like, you go into security forces, you help do base security, you on deployment, like you help run convoy, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, "Yep, I'll do that." And they said, "Nope, you're going to be a crew chief." And I'm like, "Okay." And they actually screwed up my orders when I got sent to the schoolhouse. I had to go to a different base in Texas. They had me as avionics, and I'm like,
Ew.
"Okay." Yeah, they wanted me to be a pointy head, and I'm like,
Gay vibe.
"No." So
You don't know enough
I
about Star Trek to work there.
correct. I can't spell Star Trek, and like, whatever. So I show up to the unit, and I hand them my orders, and they're like, "You're supposed to be avionics, but you have this schoolhouse's address." I'm like, okay." They're like, "You're going to be a crew chief." I'm like, cool. There it is. So I show up to fundamentals, and they said I could have been on the A-10, which was super cool, the F-16, U-2, F-117 were all the F-15 variants. And as soon as I got into the schoolhouse, they gave us different tracks, and my track was the F-15. So as soon as I got done with fundamentals, they sent us over to the 15 unit, and yeah, so we learned everything from the A model to the E model, and the E model is what I ended up getting put on when I got to Seymour in North Carolina. So E model it was.
Seymour
Nice.
Johnson.
Seymour Johnson. It's right across the street from Morehead City.
Yep.
Like, like you couldn't have come up with a better name for a military installation, and like, because he was a Navy air crew that grew
Evil
up in
aviator.
Goldsboro, North Carolina. Yeah, like okay, you couldn't think of a different person to name us after? Shady J all the way.
Man, I really hope woke culture didn't change that name.
How
Dude,
can you
I heard
change
that
someone's
all
name
of
from woke culture?
well, they changed all Fort they took away
Fort
Fort
Bragg
Bragg.
was
They made it
Fort
Fort
Freedom or
yeah,
something
now
like that.
it's Liberty.
Liberty.
I heard
That's right.
so I heard that all of the old names are coming back. It's just a rumor. It's on one of my it's on one of my shooting forums. They're saying that with the rescinding of a bunch of different things and the passage of some of the executive orders, that's one of the EOs that is going through, and all of the old base names are coming back.
Yeah,
That would be
can't
awesome.
complain about that.
Absolutely not. Like you can't take away like completely different rabbit hole. I understand that like as a nation we have like multiple things that we didn't get right. Okay, that doesn't mean that you bury the history and pretend that it didn't happen, or like take away, you know, the names of people who served this country in one way or another, and years and decades of tradition. And that's something that most civilians just don't get is like the tradition. It's tradition, and those are things those become core values. Like that tradition becomes a core value. Like you identify with, you know, where you were stationed, New River, like down by Lejeune, like that is that's a core part of your time in the Marine Corps. Just like me being Shady J all the way, like that's a part of my time in the Air Force. Like that's a part of it. And that becomes like when you get into the shadow boxes or you get into the memorabilia, like everything that I have memorabilia wise is like everything has to do with that base, that unit, and like our identity is so interwoven into that. And that's my tradition. You can't take that shit away. You shouldn't take
Right.
that away. I
No,
feel
you're
about
absolutely right.
people can feel about whatever they want. And like your feelings are your own, and like I can't tell you what to think or feel, but that's a two-way road. You can't tell me what to think and feel, and you're not going to take away my tradition and piss all over it just because your feelings are hurt.
When fucking feelings overrode common sense and facts, like that's when things really took a sideways turn.
Agreed.
I want to know when the Department of War was changed to Department of Defense. Is that when they started caring about feelings? Because they didn't care about my feelings when I was in.
Mm,
And I
mm.
had a few feelings. Most of them
We
were quite retarded because I was young. But I think the only real tradition that matters in the United States military is committing savage fucking violence to the enemies of the United States.
so
Fucking A right.
like at basic training graduation, my uncle, bless his heart, is he's soft, he's liberal and like whatever. But he showed up because he was in Texas, it's where he lives. He showed up and he walked into my unit, and right on the wall, you know, the motto of my unit was kill people and blow shit up. And he looked at it, he looked at me, he looked at my instructor, and looked back at the sign, and he goes, are you allowed to say that? Yeah, man. We we kill people and we blow shit up.
Yeah.
Like what do you think we did for months in a row on rotation? The amount of ordnance that we put on target, uh, profound. Like thousands and thousands of rounds and thousands of pounds of guided munitions. And there are multiple caves and houses and urban areas that no longer exist because of the munitions that we dropped in 2006. Like, that's what we do. That is a tradition, Steve. That is the tradition. We kill people, we blow shit up.
Yeah, the Air Force was pretty good at vaporizing shit on a wholesale level.
Changing the topographical map.
Like, you've got your precision level, and then you guys are like the fucking Costco of just
Costco. Yes, there it is. There it is.
I'd never even set foot.
Let's go.
But
Let's go to Missile Costco.
Oh my God! Can you imagine walking through there? I lose my mind walking into Shooter's Warehouse. Imagine walking into Missile Depot.
Wait! Whoa. What is Missile Depot?
Missile Depot is the mythological place we're talking about, where Air Force Missile Costco.
Oh.
It's a fantasy land that we have yet to create, but
we're still building it in our minds right now.
There's still
right next to the free meat samples where they're giving you Pop-Tarts as you walk down the aisles, where you're looking at AIM 260s and Sidewinders.
Just not maple brown sugar ones.
Yeah, fuck those ones. But no, seriously, I like this idea. Like, what could I maybe mount to the running boards of my truck? Because I have road rage.
What do you have? A Tacoma or something slightly bigger?
The Chevy 2500.
Okay.
Same here. Huh? We're good.
Yeah, you have a lot of room for ordnance.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of room for ordnance. Yeah, put a couple rails on there.
Yeah, this could be a really awesome thing.
Well, DJT just has to swipe the pen, make an executive order that anything that the military has, civilians can have too. We should write our Congress people.
Dumb it down. Like, nothing above 40 millimeters. Like, what the fuck? Like, I swear
that's
it starts to get fun.
That's not the spirit of the Second Amendment.
Exactly.
That's 40 millimeters, right? That's a pretty robust round.
Yeah, but it's not a harm. Like,
now we're talking.
Yeah, like let's get into something real here. Like, let's put a Hellfire on the 2500. And now all of a sudden, let's see who has road rage now.
Yeah, Hellfire and whatever.
Remember,
Ninja Swords missiles are.
An armed society is a polite society.
See, if I had a missile on my truck, I don't know if I'd want it to launch off and be a live warhead. I want it to be something where I could be like, I got to get past that car. Where I want it to be a booster for me.
Mario Kart style.
Mario Kart style. Imagine being on the thruway and being like, I got to pass these people. And then just, wham.
Yeah. Hit the button, the cap of your truck opens up, and it's just like, meow. Launches right there above the cab, and traffic just fucking parts. And you're like, I'm not going to be late.
Yes.
See, you got a 2500, so you're halfway there already. You just get the V snowplow, and you can have that with the missile launcher fucking rocket thing. It's get out of my way or you're getting out of my way.
What is that video game from back in the day? Twisted Metal.
Yes.
Never played it.
Oh man, that's a classic.
Fellas, I was not a big video game guy. The only one that I really got into
5 video games. That was one of them.
What were the other 4?
Jet Moto 2, Wipeout, Tomb Raider, and Final Fantasy VIII.
What system was that on?
PlayStation Original.
Yeah.
The only game that, the only game I ever really got into that long ago was the original Grand Theft Auto.
So the one where you're looking like
Vice City
view at Micro Machines.
Awesome. Such a good game. No, check that. That was Liberty City. And then
yes, it was.
I bought my own Xbox, and that was the first game I bought was Vice City. It took me forever because I suck at video games, but I beat the game, and I'm like, really that's all it took to beat. All right, I guess I'm just gonna go start it back over again, and it's exactly what I did. And I would just mess around and like try to see how many stars I could get, and fight off like the helicopters and the tanks and stuff. Like that's all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to roll around and see if I could capture a helicopter or a tank.
Maximum chaos.
100%. Killdozer style.
Yes.
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 We need an old lawn tractor, a fucking welder, and some plates. And we'll just recreate the freaking Killdozer on a smaller scale.
Yeah, a not the wholesale, but the
Yeah.
micro scale.
Maybe not like Killdozer, but maybe Bullying Dozer.
So
Okay.
I got an idea. We build this little thing. Maybe we build a couple of them like the Shriners. We start our own parade.
Stop it. No. I hate
love it.
parades. I hate parades
We'll
so
have
much. It's the biggest.
vendors.
That's
We
different.
have vendors
That's different.
and meat and bullets for sale right there out on the streets. Little kids waving the American flag, going, "Don't tread on me," buying 9mm and pepperoni pizzas. It's going to be great.
Guy selling Ronald Reagan T-shirts.
See,
I could get on board
we
with
could
some
be
of
event
that.
organizers.
See, that's a nice touch.
The music that plays is only going to be "I Am a Real American," Hulk Hogan's entrance theme song. And also "When Doves Cry" by Prince, just to throw them off.
I mean, that just threw me off.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
such a
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Hey, it's kind of like Nickelback and Darude. Like, you don't know why it works, but it works.
Sometimes it just works.
Yeah. Fucking Prince.
Well done, boys. Well done.
Oh, Steve-O,
What's up?
we need to have another Pensacola guy come in. And
Okay.
we gotta have because you brought up the firefighting training. You got the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines all training in one place, right? I never saw any Army down on Pensacola, but we definitely had Navy and Air Force. I heard some wacky freaking tales about interactions between the Air Force and Marines and such. And I thought maybe Legends of Pensacola would be a good freaking platform to go with. There's some
I'm
pretty
on board.
wild stories about that shit.
Okay.
What do you think of Steve? He's thinking something.
Wheels are turning.
Uh,
Yeah.
I've had a guy on twice, Matt Pepsikavish. He's a cool dude. He was in the Navy. He was never at Pensacola though, but I think you guys would dig him.
Now I'm intrigued as to like what kind of interactions we're talking here.
Steve, do you remember the
I
story
still
about
think
the Air Force barracks getting taken over with rubber rifles?
no,
You never heard that?
That's awesome.
Like that's what I'm
no.
saying. Like it's got to be some kind of a freaking stupid tale that some jarhead told his parents and just it caught fire. But when I was down there, that was a pretty popular story amongst some of the guys that were there. But they said that Marines got bored because they were on duty one weekend, so they lived in the same barracks as the Air Force. They went and checked out a bunch of rubber rifles and just took the Air Force barracks hostage. Like just some kind of wild, crazy, freaking bullshit like that.
That's awesome.
I remember the premise of the story, like just really the base part of it, but I don't remember all the finer details. And there has to be other freaking crazy stories like that.
Gotta be.
And we should get the fat electrician on.
That would be. He's like, as a former social studies and history teacher, like the dude can come up with some outlandish, ridiculous shit to make a history story just stick. The guy has a talent.
Yes, he does. This is one of my
The
favorite
guy
things
has
to
a
watch.
talent. 100%.
What is it? Free unhealthcare.
Free on healthcare.
Yes.
It's the American
Warheads
system.
on foreheads.
Yep. I love that.
Bang out.
Yeah, the dude has done well.
Absolutely.
And all because he threw his shoulder out in jiu-jitsu.
I could see how that happens. Yeah, he's a
That's how
jiu-jitsu
it
instructor.
started. So that's how his podcast shit started. Like he threw his shoulder out and got bored.
Well, he's legit
Yeah, like,
an electrician, and
like he injured his shoulder, so he was like recovering, and his wife's like, "You need to fucking do something." So he just started that.
It's fucking awesome.
yeah, I don't think he'll be going back to his day job anytime soon.
Nah, he's still on the uphill climb with that.
Oh yeah, and he's millions and millions of subscribers. It's awesome. Good for him.
I mean, I'm one.
I'm one too.
I don't know if I should.
Well done, boys. Well done.
Now I'll have to check my YouTube. But yeah, it's been fun, fellas.
It's been a good one. I have yet to eat since lunch at 11.
Nice.
Dude, training was awesome tonight, but I'm going to be feeling it tomorrow. I'll promise you that.
Well,
You guys
what
all
you speak of, I'm still sore from Saturday, and I'm like, oh god, I can't do shit.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I was really worried about the stupid toe that I smashed in the weight room on Saturday. I'm good to go.
Nice.
Only a little bit of blood tonight. Not so bad.
Dude, that thing dirt on it. You're good.
That thing was bleeding for a while. Like it bled for a full hour.
Nice.
Happens.
That it does.
All right, dudes. I'm gonna go get some chow, and it's time for bed.
Yep. I'm gonna head somewhere in that.
That sounds perfect. Same.
All right.
Same time next week, fellas.
Can't wait.
You got it.
All right, guys. I'll catch you later.
All right. Later
Dudes.